What's up, college football fans? Don't forget to check out and order your copy of Stiff Arming Football Myths, our latest football game plan book. So go on our website at footballgameplan.com/books and get your copy. We have these available in paperback as well as in PDF form.
We'll kick off our wraparound coverage with a huge game in the SWAC East Division between Alabama State and Alcorn State. And I completely underestimated the Hornets defense last week as they put the clamps on Texas Southern. The way they were able to apply pressure has definitely helped out the back end the last 2 weeks. And sophomore strong safety Torrey Davis has played some great football on both ends of defense this year. The Braves come in with one of the best rushing offenses in the FCS. Junior tailback Darrell Ragsdale is averaging a whopping 9.5 yards a carry, aided by quarterback John Gibbs Jr. Alcorn State's read option attack is very tough to defend. Now, the biggest key for Alabama State is winning on first down defensively, which is tough to do against a veteran and massive offensive line in Alcorn State. Now, I like the Braves in this ball game, and it's going to be an unswack-like defensive battle. The Braves have had success all season long getting pressure and getting off the field and also getting to the quarterback, and I think they'll do all three in a close one versus Alabama State. Bucknell is sitting at 4-0 as they travel to take on Bryant. It's been the Bison offense that has paved the way for an impressive start this season. The well-balanced attack led by quarterback R.J. Nitty has averaged over 400 yards a game and 30 points a game. Now, this week, their biggest challenge will be trying to move the football versus one of the stingiest defenses in the FCS. The key matchup in this one is between the safeties of Bucknell versus the Bryant passing offense. And speaking of the Bulldogs, their offense operates extremely well off of play action because of how well running back Paul Canavari is able to move the football on the ground, with wide receiver Chad Ward being able to operate versus man a lot in this matchup, or any matchup. Now, we know Bryant's defense is top-notch, but against teams that can spread the field like Liberty, they tend to struggle. And I think the defense will be able to slow down Bucknell at times this game, but I can't trust their offense to consistently do so versus the Bison. I'm taking Bucknell. Big battle in the Pioneer League between Drake and Jacksonville, and the Bulldogs defense has played well in spurts this season, and it has been their offense that has had problems sustaining drives all season long, mainly because of an offensive line that's young and trying to find its consistency. Now, the Dolphins have looked like a much different team since week 1 versus Southeastern Louisiana. Their offense moves the football in chunks, while their young secondary has gotten better each and every game. Now, I like Jacksonville in this one. Look for quarterback Cade Bell and wide receiver Andy Robustelli to hook up for a couple of big plays down the field to lead the Dolphins to victory. The surprising Western Carolina Catamounts take on the Blue Holes of Presbyterian, and when you look at the Catamounts in this game, it has been their execution which has led them to an impressive 3-1 start this year. Defensively, nose tackle Kevin Ume and safety Ace Clark have been outstanding. Offensively, they don't make mistakes. Quarterback Troy Mitchell is a dual-threat guy that has completed over 68% of his passes and has only thrown 1 interception all season long. The same can't be said about the Blue Holes offense that's struggling to find its level of consistency. Now, what the Blue Holes do bring to the table is an athletic defensive front seven led by Kyrie Rozier that lives in the backfield. Now, if Presbyterian wants to win, they'll have to do a much better job offensively in the red zone. I don't think they'll be able to find that consistency this week. I like the Catamounts, and I want you to keep an eye on running back Darius Ramsey, who could be in store for a big day. Tennessee State takes on Southeast Missouri State in a key matchup in the Ohio Valley Conference, and the Tigers might have the best defense in the country, led by senior safety Daniel Fitzpatrick. TSU has 25 sacks, 10 interceptions, along with 50 TFLs so far this season. The problem lies with their offense, more in particular their passing game. Right now, quarterback Ronald Butler hasn't found that level of consistency to get that Tigers offense rolling. Now, for the Red Hawks, their offense isn't having any problems this season, and I'm a big fan of both wide receivers, Paul McRoberts and Peter Lloyd. Both guys are able to win one-on-one, and they average 15 yards a catch apiece. SEMO's defense, however, is a little bit more generous than you like, especially in the red zone, and this is a rough game to figure out because of the Tigers' passing game struggles, but I can't go against their defense and their running game. I like Tennessee State in this one to slow down the Red Hawks' red-hot offense. This might be the game of the week in the FCS between South Dakota State and Illinois State, and the Jackrabbits have been able to maintain without their starting quarterback Austin Sumner in the lineup because of a combination of Zach Zenner, the outstanding tailback, and an excellent Jackrabbits defense. And we know the Jackrabbits can move the ball on the ground, but quarterback Zach Lujan will have to be extra careful with the football this week. They need 7s instead of 3s this game versus the Redbirds. Illinois State has dominated opponents this year thanks in part to the play of quarterback Trey Roberson. The former Indiana Hoosier has been both efficient and accurate throwing the football. The Redbirds defense has been even more impressive, only surrendering 245 yards a game and 7 points a game, and teams have only reached the red zone 7 times this year. Now this will be their stiffest test yet. Can linebacker Pat Behan and company slow down the Zach Zinner Express? I don't think they can on a consistent basis, but it won't be a detriment to team success. I like their offense to have a lot of success this week, and I'm taking the Redbirds, and we're learning a lot about Illinois State in this one. Very good matchup here between Sacred Heart and Delaware, and one exciting battle that I can't wait to watch is between cornerback J.D. Roussel and Blue Hen wide receiver Michael Johnson. That's a battle that Sacred Heart has to win throughout the course of this ball game. Now on the flip side, you look at the Blue Hens defensive front 7 that has the tough task of slowing down one of the best running backs in the nation in Kashauda Spence. Now Delaware has gotten better each weekend for their offense to get any traction in this one. Getting Pioneers defensive lineman Troy Moore blocked up front is going to be key. I actually like Sacred Heart in this game. Yes, Delaware can and will spread the field, but I believe the Pioneers actually match up well at the 2nd and 3rd level, and they'll be able to frustrate quarterback Trent Hurley in the passing game. So look for Spence to get back on track this week and for the Pioneers to stun the Blue Hens at home. Pivotal battle in the Southland Conference as Northwestern State battles Southeastern Louisiana, and the Demons are still riding high after knocking off Louisiana Tech 2 weeks ago, and they face the same style of offensive attack this game versus the Lions. So running back Garrett Eisenwaller and also linebacker Tyler Roussel are the 2 leaders of this football team, and in order for the Demons to have success, that linebacking core will have to do it on both ends of defense. Now for Southeastern Louisiana in this game, I will go with a more simplistic approach. I feel as though they tend to get themselves in trouble by getting too creative offensively. Quarterback Brian Bennett's passing also has to get a lot better, and I look to the Lions defense being the big reason why they'll knock off Northwestern State in this ball game. Linebacker Isaiah Corbett along with Baptiste and Thompson in the secondary, they'll do a great job of slowing down the passing attack of the Demons. I like the Lions to prevail. South Carolina State enters this critical MEAC matchup versus North Carolina A&T, winners of 2 straight ball games, but the question remains, can the passing game of the Bulldogs get into gear this week versus the Aggies? Right now, this is a run-based offensive attack, albeit a good one, with tailback Jalen Simmons, and more is definitely needed on that side of the ball. Now, defensively, head coach Buddy Pugh has his guys once again tough in the battery. That's defensive tackle, Mike linebacker, and safety, and they're led by defensive lineman Javon Hargrave, who's a constant nuisance up front. Now he'll have his hands full this week as North Carolina A&T has one of the better offensive lines in the conference, led by William Ray Robinson, who's a legit NFL prospect. Now they're a 2-headed read option attack with tailback Tariq Cohen and quarterback Quashawn Quick. Gives defenses fits each and every week. Now defensively, there's a lot to like about the Aggies defensive line. This is a gap discipline group that's able to apply pressure and still be fundamentally sound. Cornerback Donald Maddox is one you should definitely keep an eye on in this matchup. He'll have some opportunities to make a big play or two, and I like North Carolina A&T. This is one of the better defensive football teams in the MEAC, and I think they'll do enough in the passing game this week to keep the Bulldogs honest so that their running game can have the necessary room to roam. In the Ivy League, Yale takes on Cornell, and the Bulldogs are fresh off their first FBS victory against Army last week, and their offense, led by running back Tyler Varga, is averaging 50 points a game. Now, they're a tough team to defend because they can beat you so many ways offensively. Now, what's shocking so far this season is how poorly they've played defensively, giving up 43 points a game on what was supposed to be the strength of this squad. Now, those numbers have to give hope to a very young Big Red ball club that's struggling to move the football on offense. Running back Luke Hagee is the lone bright spot, and defensively, a tired defense is put in bad situations throughout the course of the game because of their offense. And if their offense can string together some drives, the Big Red defense could surprise in this one. And I don't think it'll happen this week, as I like Yale to roll big over Cornell. Nearly 600 yards of total offense each and every week, 50 points a game, but their defense has to get better if they want to finish atop the Ivy League at the end of the season. And finally, the surprising Idaho State Bengals travel to Cheney to take on the Eastern Washington Eagles. And for the Bengals in this game to have a shot to pull off the upset, you have to look at quarterback Justin Arias in that passing game, getting off to a great start. Arias has done a fantastic job leading the ISU offense, and he has to be licking his chops going against this Eagles secondary. Eastern Washington is coming off a sound victory versus UC Davis, and it was an impressive showing for a defense that has proven to be a little bit problematic all season long. The challenge in this one is finding ways to take away sophomore wide receiver Madison Magnum and force Arias to go elsewhere with the football. Now, what you'll see is Tevin McDonald and company put together back-to-back solid defensive efforts, while Vernon Adams and that offense will once again be firing on all cylinders. I like the Eagles in this ball game. And also, don't forget to check out every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, College Football Now on our Football Game Plan Radio Network, located at blogtalkradio.com/football game plan.
What's up, FCS football fans? I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook with footballgameplan.com.
And I'm Kevin Marshall from AnyGivenSaturday.com.
And we are the hosts of the FCS Wedge presented by AnyGivenSaturday.com.
Check your local listings for station and time in your area.